Yo, yo, yo.
What up, y'all? Illegit here. Uh, this guy, I should have owned this guy's limp. This guy, if you could say he's running 5610 over like a small sample, but like that's literally like how he plays. Um, and at the final table here, you could see I have an absolutely massive chip lead, 500k next close. These guys are all basically tied at like 40 to 30k, except for this one guy who has 84. And we're it's very similar to our previous video where we had a big chip lead. It's even more dramatic in this case, and the stacks are even more like close. Like look at like 35, 38, 38, 35, 35, 40, 33. It's like insane. It's insane. And people are like doing things like limping and stuff like that. It's like crazy. So like this guy open limped on 38k. I had 7-5 off and just in that hand I was in later position and just shoved over him. Here I would have open shoved if he didn't, and he just folded. So I'm like, okay, like it's crazy like how bad these people are playing. It's right on the bubble. We kind of well actually it's not on the bubble. It's like the last time we played. Seventh place is the bubble. So we're still not on the stone bubble. Now we are on the stone bubble. So now we're in like prime position to just open jam. Obviously we'll open jam this comfortably. Um, I click tag this hand. I don't really need to because it's pretty obvious, but um, yeah, it's not even close actually. It's a very easy shove on the bubble here with everyone. Actually, there's one guy with 85k right next to me, but like even if he wakes up, we're still not in that bad shape. Next hand will be even better for us to jam because this guy has a bigger stack. We have like one of the worst possible hands from this position, so we might not. This is a really good spot for us though because this guy being so early position has to call pretty tight, and this guy, the two with the most chips, with everyone else being so small, has to call extremely tight. So it's a very good distribution. If I had just a like tiny better hand, I like even 6-5 off. I think I should there honestly. I'm just folding some of the absolute worst hands that are going to do really poorly at showdown. All right, we can call all these short stacks, even though we prefer it to be one of the later position short stacks. We can also call small blind, honestly. Um, he's supposed to shove like fairly tight, but threes are still going to be pretty close, I think, against what he's supposed to be shoving. We kind of prefer one of these shorter stacks to shove, so we can just call. We might burst the bubble here, which is fine. We're flipping. He hit a 10, also not a big deal. Three, yeah, not a big deal, obviously, but all right, we we pick up a monster hand. Now we hope someone shoves and they have ace 10 but don't get there, etc. Okay, we've got another easy call. Still have easy call, though this guy should be pretty tight, but it's for like so few chips. We're still going, obviously. Um, yeah, there's no way to induce this guy, so I don't need to tank or anything. Let's win this. Look at this huge pot. This guy should have a pretty strong hand, though. Yeah, he does. Jacks. Uh, yeah, not really. Not very many outs after that. Unfortunate that he had that strong. I mean, he's gonna have strong there when it's under the gun and it's the bubble and then it's under the gun plus one. I mean, like he is gonna be pretty strong. I don't think we can fold jacks there. We can look at it and see what he's actually supposed to go with because what range he's supposed to go with in that spot. With this guy being so small, like he maybe like game theoretically is supposed to go really tight. Um, but it's like such a small percentage of our chips. Even if it's wrong, it's like maybe barely wrong for us to go there. So I don't mind it, obviously. And obviously, I mean, we have a huge hand. Like I said, okay, this guy is going to be pretty strong, but I don't think he's going to fold, for example, tens, probably not nines, etc. Even though it is the bubble, like he's a huge like he's ICM aware. I'm sure, at least to some extent. Although because he's a massive volume grinder, plays a ton. But I don't think, but partly because of that, I don't think he pays enough or as much attention to bubbles and stuff. Um, I mean, I don't think that he's unaware of it. But oh wow, we just lost another. This is crazy. But I don't think he's probably as aware of it as he should be. Because like in that situation, he probably might. It's possible he's got like 10 tables open and doesn't even really know that we're on the bubble and is just playing, you know, um, his hands accordingly. I mean, I don't think he's completely obviously oblivious to it, but like he's a massive volume grinder, but he doesn't actually like win if you look at his results, unless he makes up for it in like rakeback and stuff, which I don't know how you can do that, but maybe it's possible. But his actual graph is just straight down like losing. So you know, maybe in individual hands he's not paying enough attention. Yeah, he's got one of those graphs that I honestly do not understand. That look like this. So like if you look at the red line, that's his profit, which is just straight down losing 30K. But then that's profit excluding rake, and if you're getting 100% rake back, then I guess you can win, which is possible if you play as much as he does to get over 100% rake back. But then just be losing on all your individual games. It's kind of strange. I honestly don't get it. This is the easy shove. This would be a shove even without it being a final table. So yeah, here we go. That sucks that he has that. But we have a 9. No ace. No ace. Thank you. Let's go. Whew. 6 suck out there. But for 10 big blinds, I mean, there's not much else I can do there. Same thing here. It's kind of excessive, but at the same time, I don't want to raise and get jammed on with this hand. So I'm just going to open jam it. He has to play, like, not that tight, but because all these 3 are close and we're in the money, but he has to play reasonably tight. And worst case scenario, we're down to 400K. So, which is, you know, not that bad. I don't want to like min raise, have him shove. Then I'm kind of in like a very like iffy spot whether I should call or not. But if I just open jam, it's a lot less iffy. This final table is insane. How long has this take? This video's been running for 6 minutes. We were still 9-handed at that point. And you guys didn't even see some of the like crazy stuff that happened at the beginning of the final table. It was funny. All right, so we've cashed for. I should put these payouts up on the screen over there. Let me do that real quick. Shouldn't take me long. All right, king 3 off. I'm probably folding. Okay. This guy's limping. This is the guy who loves to limp. I would jam over him, except he's the smallest, so there's no ICM, and I've seen him make like loose bad calls after limping. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna check this back. Yeah, now I'm probably just gonna check fold. He can, like, you would think, oh, if he had an ace when he just jam pre. Not necessarily. He's you know, he's not good. He doesn't know how to play. So he could have an ace. Obviously, king's good for us. I'm still just gonna check and call him in bet. He can have better kings. It's like definitely like if he did have a better king, he would play it like this. We're just gonna peel. Okay, well that's somewhat good. It's not great because we were most worried about him having better kings, and he still has better kings. Okay, cool. I wonder what did he have? Jack 9 off. He had a 9. That's hilarious. He let us get there on the turn for free. Nice. And he had like I would shove almost any ace over his limp, or like the vast majority of aces over his limp. So his check back on the flop is actually pretty bad. He should bet for protection value. Because I just don't have hardly any ace X, and he has a pretty good 9, so like he's like way up in his range. We're just gonna jam this if Boop folds. It's not that bad to jam even if he raises, honestly, unless he open shoves, then it is. All right, yeah, easy jam here. Small blind is down to, it says he has 17. He doesn't though. He's got less than that because the blinds just went up to 7K. He's got more like 14 or 15. Yeah, so that's pretty easy. Don't want to get called by the small blind. Don't really care too much about the big blind because he's going to call with a lot of stuff that we, or not a lot of stuff, but a decent amount of stuff that we're either beating or have good equity against. Oh yeah, I was going to put the payouts up just so we could see what we're playing for here, which I still will do. Just gotta do this real quick. Oh, nice. All right, so we can call anyone or shove over anyone's open, which is nice. And if this guy limps again, we're just gonna cram it on him. Yeah. Ideally, this guy just open shoves, like, you know, with like, I could like raise a smaller amount to try to induce, But I don't want him limp calling and then being in an awkward spot post. I'm just going to make it look like I'm bullying, like, I have been with weaker hands, and do it with an actual fairly strong hand as well. I'm not going to shove this if it folded to me. G-Cone's decent, and, like, he probably doesn't care. Like, he cares about ICM, he understands it, but, like, there's not a ton of ICM pressure on him anyways, in this distribution. So, yeah, I'm not going to shove everything from the small blind there against him. I'm going to fold this, too. This is not a horrible shove here, especially if they're overfolding, but it's also like it's like optional. I think it's close. This is a definite at least open, and I'm just gonna play it for a shove so we don't get rejammed on. All right. Payouts. Sorry, payouts. Okay. Payouts PNG. Okay. And now I gotta load it here. Did this guy really just min raise? We're gonna call the min raise. Okay, unless that happens, we're folding. All right. Did he really raise fold on what? He had like 9 big blinds there. He's so bad. Okay, payouts PNG. No, payouts PNG. Payouts. Where's the payouts PNG? Yeah, now this is getting this is not a great hand, but he has less chips, and also because this guy's so short, he should fold even more than he should normally. If he calls and we lose, whatever, we're down to 460. It's not a huge deal. But I think that's close to plus EV anyways with any queen. Like I said, I had Jack Deuce the previous round, and I probably would have folded it, but Queen Deuce is just a tick better. So where are my payouts? Okay, here they are. All right, excuse me. All right, so we're playing for 95 here. See if we can get it all. Oh, trip 9s. He needs a 4. Holy crap. No, 4 no good after the turn. Okay, this is better for us. Yeah, so this is easy. So this is a really good distribution for us, and we have a decent hand anyways. But basically, the blinds, he's not going to call too much because he doesn't have a lot of pressure. But basically, he's still not just going to call anything because he's hoping that they'll wake up, find, with the worst hand and lose. If he has a good hand, obviously he's calling. But then there's tons of pressure on the blinds to not call. This guy's doing this again. I mean, I really should rip, but I don't think he is smart enough to understand the situation, so I'm actually just going to call. Pick up a flush draw. It's a low one. This guy's really dumb, and he's min betting here. Very tempted to just jam. If he doesn't have a 10 or a big spade, he's just going to fold. And if he does have, an overpair without a spade, we have an okay equity. So I'm just going to jam this. Yeah. He doesn't understand the situation, which is this guy's now very short. He's supposed to play tight, and he's playing his hand face up with that min bet. This is probably not a call, although he's probably tilting, and our hand does okay a lot against a lot of his hands that he's just going to open rip, like ace 5 off or whatever. But I don't think it's a call against his normal range, especially since he just hasn't been open raising that much. But the thing is, I just think it's pretty tilty shove. I'm still just gonna fold. We'll review that one later. It's kind of close. Yeah, I'm sure King 9 suited or King 10 suited I call there. Queen Jack's what did I have? Queen 10 suited, yeah. Queen Jack suited I probably call there. That's just slightly too bad. Yeah, and he had his beat, not by a lot, but yeah, he hadn't been open shoving. He's been doing some min raising and stuff. This is a good spot to re-raise this guy again if he's aware of ICM at all. There's a decent chance he's not ICM aware and will just decide to go with it against me. I'm gonna fold this hand, and also he hasn't been raising a lot, and he's raising from cutoff here. I think he's weighted towards having pretty strong range. It's unfortunate that we get a pretty good flop for ourselves, but I mean, it's whatever. It's a pretty good spot to rejam if the other player, if the other player is good, they're basically never min raising here. They're just open shoving or folding pretty much, unless they're good and trying to induce with a monster. So yeah, so it's just kind of a weird spot. I'm curious to see what he shows up with here. Ace nine suited, yeah. So it's very like bad of him to open and not open jam that. Like I don't know like what he's thinking. Um, so yeah, that's really bad. Opened ace nine suited, uh, um, four handed, FT as second in chips on like 50. I think he had like 15x with big stack OTB. We'll call this. He's going to shove worse hands here. It's his last bit of fold equity. I mean, he'll be ahead a lot of the time, but sometimes we'll be ahead, and we're getting too big of a price not to call, so good luck us. Yeah, we're ahead, actually, so need to fade the king. Okay, yeah, that's it. It's done on the turn. All right, this is a shove. This is an easy shove. There's just he has under 10. We have a queen in the small blind. It's a profit. We got called by worse. No 10, no 4. Gosh dang it. It's 5-6. This is like it's actually like mediocre, not that bad. I kind of want to raise to induce a reshove, but I'm also just worried that they just flat the big blind. And I have just been shoving all the time. So this might look strong, but I don't really care. I expect this guy to spaz out like kind of a lot here. Instead, he just flats, which is what I didn't want to happen. There we go. That's what I wanted to happen. Sweet. All right, so ideally this guy, he's going to do this with lots of aces. If he has a pair here or, you know, stronger, it's like really disgusting. I'm going to tank a little bit here. Try to induce this guy to call with an ace too, if he happens to have one. Hold. Hold. No 9. No 9. Boom. Let's go. This is 16 minutes since we started the final table. We're heads up. Wow, this was insane. This was insane. I'm just gonna check this back over this guy who will probably call too wide because he's spazzy. Second pair with a pretty bad kicker. He snap checks back though. That's good. We're just gonna lead this for protection / value. Eight is not great. He's got some 8-7s, 8-9 type hands, also 7-9s that he specifically would play this way. Obviously, those would get bet on the flop by a lot of people, but he's just bad, so he's not going to. All right, and we're good. But it's like a mediocre card, and we're not high up enough in our range to value bet there. Although, like, he does have a lot of 3x. He actually had deuce x. So, like, you could go for, like, a small block bet there. We're just going to jam this for 10 big blinds. 11 big blinds, whatever. Okay, win a flip. King Jack 10. King Jack 10. Oh, dang. All right, well, 20 big blinds deep now with a fish. So, all right, and we're just gonna rip this for 20 bigs. It's 24, I guess. Maybe slightly excessive, but with the suited ace, the 6 kicker doesn't play that well out of position. So yeah, we're just gonna rip this and run it for 20. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is suited, so it has some playability. You can flat there sometimes. This is pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm going to just... Yeah, I'm just going to raise and hope he rips on us like we did on him. Or we just flop an ace. That's cool. A lot of draws out there, too, so we can go on the bigger side. I mean, it's only over half, but like on a lot of textures, you should go, you know, like a third or a quarter. On this texture, you can go over half. Whew, that sucks. Wanted to get jammed on there. Okay, he doesn't really like. I'm mostly doing like I min raise the ace king because it's a huge hand, but at these stack depths, I'm mostly doing open limping. Looks like he's mostly like raising. Like it was just a fluke that because like I'll against a bad player, like against a good player there, I'll do mostly. I'll do almost all limps, including hands like ace king, so that I can try to trap them because they're going to raise from the big blind a lot. Against a bad player, I'm going to be like unbalanced essentially and just like raising my strong hands and limping my weaker hands. This is really good that he checks back twice. We're pretty likely to have the best hand on the turn. The 10 is bad, like in that like he could just have a lot of 10x now, or like random straights. He goes full pot. I'm just going to fold. Like this is not that good. He also just like he doesn't have very many flushes or whatever, but he does have some straights and just some tens. So yeah, so like I was saying, I'm just gonna limp this. Hopefully he doesn't just jam. All right, now we've got a very good spot here against him. We're just gonna raise for value, try to get it in. Um, yeah, for sure. Our hand is strong. Doesn't need that much protection, but we're just hoping, you know, that he'll spaz out here. Can beat. We just hope he has a jack himself, and we beat it. Three's okay. Like that's the card he's least likely to have. Um, if he does have a three, we're kind of screwed. But there's not much we can do about it. We just got to hope that he has a jack or a four that he gets stubborn with. Unfortunate. Maybe could go smaller in the turn. There's not like a ton of draws, so like, I mean, there's some like 5-6, like some wheel draws and stuff, but like not a ton. We should shove this over a bad player who like probably raises his stronger hands a decent amount. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't think he's good enough to trap a lot. I'm gonna shove this for 15. I think if he has like aces or kings, he's probably gonna min raise them, like highly likely. Here also, like I don't think, like we talked about, he's not very good. I don't think he's gonna like raise over my limp very much, and because of that, I don't want to try to limp trap with a hand. Even though a hand like this against a good player, I would limp trap with it, but like not against this guy who's calling off with just a random jack. Hold, hold, hold. Boom, boom. 21 minutes. 21 minutes from ninth to first. That's insane. Well, actually, slightly longer because the final table started a few minutes before I actually started the recording. But that was sick. That was another sick run. I can't believe that. I can't believe I had that the run, which I wish I was recording, but like the run in the middle of the middle. Actually, I marked where it started, so I can like load up these hands real quick. And show you guys. So I had like a sick heater, as you can tell. I had to have showed up at the final table with 50k to starting here. Okay, let me just load all these into the replay real quick. Actually, some of these might not be from the same tournament, but I think almost all of them are, because yeah, this is where I just went like on a crazy insane heater, and like all of these hands happen in like 2 orbits. I swear it was freaking nuts. All right, let me see if I can find them all. Yeah, here they are. this was like crazy. I was like, how is this happening? Oh yeah, and there's another one. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is all of them, more or less, and then it kind of like gets more normal after that. Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay, so watch this. All right, replay hands. All right, so thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching the video. Normally the video would end after that climactic ending, but we're gonna have to run. We're gonna have to run back through some of the middle stages that you guys did not see. So I picked all the hands that I won, and it basically was all hands that I won. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna go to make it more fun. Although you've already seen those 2 hands, I'm gonna go like this. All right, so here, this is where the run starts. So as you can see, I only have 7 big blinds. This is like level 5 of the tournament. So right before the rebuy period ends, this is the on-demand tourney. I just open jam. And, okay, let me make sure you guys are seeing the right thing. Let me look at the recorder screen. Okay, yeah. I open jam A7, get called by King, Queen, Diamonds, and we hold. Okay, so double up. That's a standard shove. I only had 7 big blinds from under the gun, standard. Next hand. So, you know, a few hands. Actually, this is the very next hand, I think, right? Yeah, it is. Middle position jams for 12. Another guy calls for 13. Another guy calls for 10, and I'm sitting in the big blind with ace king. This is after I just doubled up. It's kind of close, sausage, except it's like right before the rebuy period. People are playing a little more spazzy here, and also especially on these stack sizes, like this guy literally just bought in because they're like they want to double up or like rebuy again a lot of times. So easy call. And what do they have? 9s we beat, ace 4 off we beat, king jack off we beat. So that, and so I mean that's obviously just like a huge boost. At that point I think I was already chip leader after that one hand. I mean that was an insane hand. Okay, next like a few hands later, this is, well actually no, this is the wrong tournament, I'm pretty sure, right? Because I'm down to 13k. Yeah, that's not it. Okay, a couple of, I just picked all the hands I won and I was playing multiple tournaments at the time. Okay, so here we can see this is the same tournament. Under the gun jams, he only has 12. Again, it's still right before the rebuy period. And I'm in undergun +1. This is probably the bottom of my calling range. I think I probably should fold ace jack off, although it's close. So I get an ace queen off here, and we make a straight. Do we beat him? Yes, we do. It's pretty sick that he had ace king suited and we sucked out. But I mean, I think that's a standard call. It's kind of close, like I said, but I don't think it's that close, honestly, against a 12 big blind who right before the rebuy period who might be a little lighter than normal. Okay, now, just a little bit later, open ace jack off on the button into a 17 big blind stack and a 34 big blind stack with the plan ahead of time to call either of their jams, although I wouldn't like it as much against the big blind, but in this dynamic button versus blinds, it's going to be hard to fold ever. So I call, spike an ace, and he had king queen off. After the flop, it was looking pretty dire. It's like, no, I was just on a huge heater. Now you're going to kill me, or now you're going to get me, but no, we get there again. 220k. Next hand, ace queen off again. Like all these hands, this was literally like in a span of like 2 to maybe like 3 orbits that this happened. This guy opened jams for 10 big blinds. We're in the cutoff. This is a fist bump get in. This is not even close. So we just reshove and we don't hit anything, but he only has king queen off, so we hold. Okay. And then next hand, pocket queens. I didn't want to like it. I basically looked insane, although like every time I was showing up with a real hand, but I was still like, okay, I kind of want to keep this up. Also, like if I had mediocre hands, I would just open jam here. Like with this guy having 30, it like probably slightly theoretically better to just open and hope that he jams over us to try to induce. But I didn't want to be transparent basically with what I was doing at that time. So I just open crammed here as well, just hoping he wakes up. And I didn't think that he was going to come over the top that light anyways. And also I thought like we might get lighter folds just by doing this open jam. Just might be a better way to induce like these players especially. And he wakes up with 7s and we hold up to 300k. Next hand, ace king off. This is literally like one hand later, a few hands later. Very similar situation to the last one, except this guy's slightly shorter than the guy who reshoved on us before. We just open. Okay, bad beat just calls here. We just c-bet half pot. It's a pretty connected board. I don't think people, even though like theoretically they should be defending like a lot of like lower card combos too, I think their a big blind defend here is more weighted towards like middle connected hands than it's supposed to be. Middle high, like queen 10, jack 10, 9-8 type hands that are at least going to call one bet. So I like sizing up here a little bit is my point on this texture. Against a good big blind who's defending a very, very wide range, I would bet smaller. But in this case, I do. Now, he just opened jams a turn. The 9 is a good card for him, and he can lead it sometimes because he's going to have a solid amount of Jack X and 9X. More Jack X than 9X probably, but a decent amount of 9X. So actually leading here is not that bad of a play generally, but leading for this size is extremely bad because what is he representing? Exactly nothing. He doesn't represent the 9 because the 9 is not scared, right? So I have a pretty easy call here, I think, and I do call, and what happens? He floated with queen 7 diamonds on the flop, picked up a flush draw, open jam turn for 2.5x pot, and did not get there, and we're up to 400k. And then I think there's one more right before the final table. The 8's here, I think, right? Yeah, this is the last one, and this is like this is before the final table. Now 8s, this guy shoves for about 8. This is a very easy rejam for us. And, king and a queen out there. We might lose. No, we do not. He has a7 off. So that was our heater. So that got us to 500k. That's the exact, I think that was the last hand before the final table. Then we were at the final table with 500k. So we went from like, I forget, we had 7 big blinds at 2,500 blinds. So that was like 17K, and like the shortest amount of time you can imagine, we just like catapulted up, and you saw the all the heater basically right there. I was able to bring it up pretty quickly, which was nice. So took it down for $95 in a $10 tournament. I don't think we rebought in it at all either, so it's all profit. I will not all profit. $85 of it's profit. Thanks for watching the video, fellas. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends about my channel, and we will see you next time. Peace out.